Hello everyone and welcome to day 2 of the Clacton Airshow 2025. I'm Luke from Aeroview TV and once again doing the intro here because if you wasn't with us yesterday or didn't hear my intro, we're not allowed to use the official airshow commentary except for when the red arrows are on, and that is because the airshow commentary here is produced by BBC Essex and we don't have the permissions to rebroadcast their radio programme. However, if you do want to listen to it, you can do so online. If you search for BBC Essex, there's a way to listen to the radio. That way you get the official commentary, but unfortunately it's not here on the stream for that reason. But some of you may prefer that if you like to just hear the engine sounds. We've got the microphone in the best position that we can get to try and get as much of the kind of the ambient noise and the aircraft noise, so you'll hear the crowds clapping, the jet engines, the Merlins, hopefully today from the Battle of Britain Memorial flight, which we didn't see yesterday due to the wind. However, today it's looking good. It's less windy and we're hoping that everything should go ahead. So looking at today's lineup, we've got starting us off today is the red arrows starting at 1 o'clock. So we've got just under half an hour now until flying starts, followed by Rich Goodwin in his normally jet pits, but at this precise moment his jets are in the Netherlands undergoing maintenance, so we have no jets on the pits, but nonetheless it's still a fantastic display which you won't want to miss. Followed by Tony De Bruyne in the OV-10 Bronco. It's a fantastic display with some absolutely stunning strafing manoeuvres that he put on yesterday, which was really fun to film, and I'm hoping that it came through nicely on the stream for everyone watching at home. Then after that, we're hoping for the Battle of Britain Memorial flight. Sadly, there will be no Lancaster, but we do have with them the hopefully this Hurricane and the Spitfire. Not entirely sure which mark that is at the moment, but if I find that out, I will let you know in the chat. Followed by another RAF asset in the Grob Tutor. Fantastic display by Bob Jews. Again, it was great to film him yesterday. Nice up close shots we got, so I'm hoping that was fun to watch also. And then the rest of the lineup is the Western Links AH7. We've got Team Raven. Hopefully the F-86 Sabre. I haven't yet heard for sure whether or not it is flying, as it did have a technical issue yesterday, but we will remove that from the list if we hear otherwise. We've got the Fairy Swordfish from Navy Wings, the Super and Spitfire Mark 19 from Rolls-Royce, the Firebirds. We've then got P-51 Mustang Jersey Jerk, and then followed this is why I'm not a commentator. Finishing the show, we have the Vampire and the Strike Masters. So that is the Norwegian Air Force Historical Squadron's Vampire FB-52, and then 2 BAC Strike Masters from NWMAS, North Wales Military Aviation Services. So it's a very packed schedule, and we don't really get any breaks, so it should be quite a full-on show, and it should be quite good to watch. So hoping you all enjoy joining us today. And just for anyone that hasn't already watched us before, I would suggest that you do go ahead and sign up to our streaming service, which is on watch.aeroview.tv, because we do have some shows which are exclusively streamed there. For example, on Sunday this week, we have Little Granston Airshow, which will be streamed exclusively to our premium members on watch.aeroview.tv. The reason we're doing it that way is it's a charity show, and some of the money raised through the stream, providing we have enough watchers of course, will be going towards the charity that the airshow supports. You can find out more about that on their website. Just type in Little Granston Airshow and you can see what good causes they are raising money for, and hopefully we're hoping to contribute to that through the live stream if we have enough members sign up, because it's new to us. We haven't done this before. Most of our streams have been free, and we do plan to keep it that way. It's just certain shows that we're looking to support in that sense will be a part of our premium service, and also with that you gain access to all of our exclusive premium member programs, which is the full programs, and all of the upcoming ones. So we've got quite a few coming. We've got Eastbourne 2025, Clacton 2025, and then Little Granston. They will all have roughly an hour-long edited program a few weeks after the show has finished, so you can enjoy that on the same service as part of the same membership. So I hope you enjoyed today's stream. I will probably do a bit of an outro video speech to say thanks to you all as well at the end, but yeah, looking forward to today's flying, and I hope you all enjoy it with us here on Aeroview TV.
And yes, as introduced, I am Squadron Leader Grey Muscat, Red 10. The team supervisor with the Royal Air Force aerobatic team, it's the Red Arrows. It's great to be back here at Clacton Airshow. I know we weren't here last year due to our tour in Canada, but it's great to be back at a wonderful place and see a great crowd. And I'm just tracking the team now on flight radar. They've just gone to the east of Colchester, making their way here. Just making radio contact with Red 1. I have to give them some information such as the wind. There's not a lot of wind here today. And also give them the pressure setting that I'll set on their altimeters so they can accurately fly at the heights that they do during the display. There are 3 types of display that we can do. It's either full, flat or rolling. It's based on cloud base and or airspace. Airspace restriction here is from Southend. Unfortunately, we're restricted to about 3,500 feet, so the most we can do is actually a rolling show. But it's still a good show. It's still a very dynamic and enjoyable show, as always, with the Red Arrows. When the team arrive, they'll be in a large V formation, so make sure you give them a huge round of applause, a huge cheers as they arrive, and of course we'll be trailing our famous red, white and blue when we arrive. And that formation is called Amateur Big Battle, with all the even numbers on the right-hand side, all the odd numbers on the left-hand side. So please put your hands together for the 2025 Royal Air Force aerobatic team. It's the Red Arrows! Arriving at over 400 miles per hour, trailing our famous red, white and blue. Red 1 eases them up and brings them around to the right, as I said, to start the show, rolling. You'll now see Reds 6 and 7 collapse to sit in behind Red 1. Reds 8 and 9 will also move in to form our world famous Diamond 9. Leading the team for the second year this year is one of your own. He's an Essex boy, Squadron Leader John Bond, known as Bondy. He's a former Typhoon pilot, former qualified flying instructor on the Tucano, and he was the display pilot in 2012. From the right, in our world famous Diamond 9, it's the Red Arrows. Go. On the right-hand side of Red 1 is Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Rob Thomas. Rob is in his first year on the team. Uniquely, he was taken from training and made straight into an instructor on the Hawk, before then completing his own training, joining the Typhoon Force, where he has served on operations with 3 squadrons over Iraq and Syria, and then became an instructor on the Operational Conversion Unit, 29 Squadron, all based at RAF Coningsby in Lincolnshire. You'll now see the centre stem move forward. It's actually the wings of the formation moving rearwards. Reds 8 and 9 split for one of the widest formations we fly in 2025. From the left, in the Swan.
Coming left, left.
You can hear those commands from Red 1. They're almost robotic and monotone in that delivery, and that's because we fly our formation by ear rather than by eye. And this means the pilots on the outside of the formation put their inputs into the control column just a little bit earlier than those on the inside to make the formation move as one. Reds 8 and 9 move in to sit behind 2 and 3 to form the shape of one of the most iconic aircraft in aviation history. Red 1 continues to bring them around to left. The smoke comes on in the Concorde.
Smoke on, go.
On the left-hand side of that centre stem is Red 3, Flight Lieutenant Andrew McEwen, known as Macca. Macca is also in his first year on the team. He flew the AV-8B while on exchange with the United States Marine Corps, which is a Harrier variant, before then coming back to the UK. And he's the first pilot on the Red Arrows to have flown our new Royal Air Force 5th generation fighter, the F-35B, based at RAF Marham in Norfolk. 2025 celebrates the 20th anniversary of the Royal Air Force Typhoon display team. Red's Team 3 move up the rear section, form the Delta Wing in celebration of that 20th anniversary from the right. The Red Arrows continue to come around to form and fly the Typhoon roll. On the right-hand side, all the way at the back, is Red 4 squad leader Chris McCann. He's working extremely hard, looking through the formation at Red 1, because we take all our formation references from Red 1 and not necessarily the aircraft who's on the inside. Red 4, Chris McCann, is in his second year in the team, and again, he was taken from training, made straight into an instructor on the Tucano, before then completing his own training, joining the Tornado GR4 force, where he flew with the world-famous Dam Buster Squadron 617, based at RAF Lossiemouth, and Chris also received an Air Force Cross for his service on operations over Afghanistan. The rear section moved forward because the Royal Air Force is famous for its operations in air. However, these days we have a capability also in space and cyber. And to represent that capability in space and cyber, the team have now formed the shape of a spacecraft. This is Apollo.
Holding back.
There are actually 11 pilots on the Red Arrows. Reds 1 through 9 displaying for you today. Myself, Red 10, former Tornado GR4 pilot, former qualified flying instructor on the Hawk Team Mark II. And as I said earlier, this is my 4th and final year on the Red Arrows. And of course, we are commanded by Wing Commander Red Arrows, Wing Commander Adam Collins, former Tornado GR4 pilot, former Red 10, former F-111 pilot while on exchange with the Royal Australian Air Force. Reds 8 and 9 now move left and right, 6 and 7 split at the rear. Get your cameras ready for a fantastic photo opportunity as Red 1 brings them around to left for the colourful Big Vixen.
Go.
In that particular manoeuvre, the aircraft are flying with their air brakes out. It's quite hard to see. It's underneath the belly of the aeroplane towards the rear. This has twofold effect. The first effect means the pilots fly with a higher throttle setting, thereby producing a hotter engine gas temperature, and that makes the smoke colours burn a lot more brightly. In addition, it disturbs the airflow outside the back of the aeroplane, and that makes the smoke billow a lot more fuller. And therefore, in certain manoeuvres throughout this display, we use that technique to enhance that manoeuvre. Red 1 makes the call. Once again, you'll see Reds 6 and 7 move inside to sit behind Red 1. Reds 8 and 9 sit on trail for undoubtedly the most popular, if not the most popular manoeuvre the Red Arrows fly. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready. In from the right, this is Tornado time!
Look on. Go. Nice. Hold it.
8 and 9, roll goes. Reds 8 and 9 roll around the rest of the formation. Watch for the colour change as Red 1 brings them down the line.
A bit right. Oh. What's on? Go.
The Red Arrows is not just about the pilots. Of course, we have a team of over 140 personnel. 120 of them are the engineers, the logisticians, the public relations, the administrators, and they are known as the Blues due to the colour of their blue flying coverall. And inside those Blues, there are 10 individuals who get to fly in the back of our aeroplane when we cannot take the full engineering complement known as Circus. One individual with me at every display is Circus 10. Circus 10 is Air Specialist 1, Owen Lewis, who's with me today. He's in front of the lifeboat station, filming the display for debriefing and safety purposes. The team have now formed once again our famous Diamond 9. This will be your last opportunity to get a picture of us in our Diamond 9 before we start the second half of the show. The smoke comes on once again in our Diamond 9. It's the Red Arrows. As we go into the second half, which is the more dynamic, fast-paced, heart-pumping start of the display, we start it with the 5-4 split. And in the second half, we operate in two distinct sections. Off to the left-hand side is Reds 1 through 5, known as Enid, named after Enid Blyton's famous 5. The right-hand side is 6, 7, 8 and 9, known as Hannah, named after squadron leader Ray Hannah, one of the first members of the Red Arrows, the only team leader to lead the team for 4 years. He took the team from a 7 to a 9 and formed our world-famous Diamond 9. Enid from the left, Hannah from the right for the colourful 5-4 cross.
Come on, go.
Keep your eye on Enid to the right-hand side. Red 1 makes the call. Red 5 starts to move in to sit behind Red 1, and Red 4 sits in trail on the rest of Enid.
My card, go. Number 4.
Number 4, roll, go. The aboard call is made from 4 as he rolls around the rest of the smoke of Enid in the twister. Sat behind Red 1 is Red 5, Flight Lieutenant Dustin Wales, known as Dusty. Dusty is in his second year on the team. He's a former Typhoon pilot, having served with 3 Squadron. He was an instructor on the Typhoon on 29 Squadron and also a test pilot on 41 Squadron, all based at RAF Coningsby in Lincolnshire. As Enid leaves to the right, look directly to your front. You can see the 4 aircraft of Red 6, 7, 8 and 9. The red and the blue come on from Reds 8 and 9 as they roll around synchro. Get your cameras ready for the Hannah break.
Hannah split.
Red 6 and 8 to our left-hand side, Red 7 and 9 to our right-hand side. Hannah and the synchro pair are led by the synchro leader, that's Red 6 to the left, smoking white, squadron leader Tom Hansford. Tom is in his 3rd and final year on the team. He's a former Typhoon pilot, former qualified weapons instructor on the Typhoon, which meant he would teach all weapons, technical information and tactics to the entire Typhoon force. Each aircraft will now dive down to approximately 100 feet over the sea. They have a closing speed of over 900 miles per hour to perform their next maneuver called the Hannah Pass.
So special. Oh, go.
Reds 8 and 9 go up and down in the roller coasters. Pull, go from Red 6 as Red 6 to our right and Red 7 to our left. Pull up. Red 7 to our left is Flight Lieutenant George Hobday, 2nd year on the team, former instructor on the Tucano, former Typhoon pilot. Each aircraft pulling up to 5G. They reach a height of 2,500 to 3,000 feet. They're inverted 60 degrees nose down. They roll the correct way up to come back to the centre in the manoeuvre called the Boomerang. Each aircraft pass at wingtip to wingtip, only 30 metres, 100 feet. They turn hard away from each other at up to 6G, turning the Boomerang into the Cyclone. In from the right-hand side, you've got Enid coming back in with the nose light and trail. The smoke comes on, get down as they inform the inverted V. Looking to the left-hand side, you're looking for Red 9. Red 9 coming from the left is travelling at over 500 miles per hour. He lines up with Enid for the Goose. Red 9 is Flight Lieutenant Ollie Suckling. Ollie's in his third year on the team, former Tornado GR4 pilot, former qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T-Mark II. As Enid leaves to the left-hand side. Look directly to your front and you're looking for the synchro pair over the wind farms in the distance. They're just starting to come into view. You might be able to see their nose lights twinkling in the distance as they both ease up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, get your cameras ready. This is the one you do not want to miss. The smoke will come on as they part to form the world famous Synchro Heart. Coming in from the top right hand side is Red 8 as he spears the heart. Red 8 is Flight Lieutenant Rich Walker, an extremely experienced aviator, having flown Harrier and Typhoon and being a qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T-Mark II. And it's also his third and final year on the team. So Clacton, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's give him a huge round of applause for Wonderful Heart in the skies of Clacton. Well, the show's not over yet. Keep your eye on the synchro pair. They will both turn back towards the display line. Coming in from the right and the left, they'll be diving down to approximately 100 feet. They've got that closing speed of over 900 miles per hour. Each aircraft will perform a barrel roll. Cross in the middle, wingtip to wingtip, 30 meters, only 100 feet, followed by a second barrel roll in a maneuver called the double rolls.
Go. Go. Okay, on the line.
As the synchro pair leave rearwards, keep looking to your left. Enid returning back towards the display area, joined by Reds 8 and 9. Reds 8 and 9 roll go as Reds 8 and 9 roll around the smoke once again in a maneuver called the corkscrew. As Enid moves to our front right 45, keep looking to your left, keep looking to your right. You're looking for the synchro pair returning back to the display area once again. Each aircraft will perform a barrel roll. They'll cross in the middle for the maneuver called the circus. Wingtip to wingtip, 30 meters, 100 feet. They now pull hard up to 6G. That means everything about them is weighing 6 times heavier than what you and I are as we stand on the beach. Red 7 changes to blue, Red 6 changes to red. They're pulling up to 6G, Red 7 to our left, keeping an eye on Red 6 to ensure he has that missed distance as they complete the maneuver called the circus. Look to your front right 45 and you can see Enid lining up once again for their next maneuver.
Up. Follow on. Go. And roll.
The red, the white and the blue is on. Red 1 flies a barrel roll in the sky, leaving a snake-like smoke trail in the sky in the maneuver called the Serpent. Another great opportunity to see our famous red, white and blue. That red, white and blue is only capable due to the smoke pod under the belly of the aeroplane. That smoke pod is capable of producing approximately 5 minutes of white smoke, 1 minute of red smoke and 1 minute of blue smoke. Each of those smoke colours had its own button on the pilot's control column. And during winter trainings, Red 1 and Red 6 come up with a smoke plan to ensure we have the right colour smoke at the right time in the display and we simply do not run out. Reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 now move up, looking 90 degrees along their shoulder line at Red 1, pulling up to 4G, an extremely hard formation to maintain. The smoke comes on from the right-hand side in the Tango.
Smoke on, go.
As Enid leaves to the left, keep looking to your left, look to your right. You're looking for Red 6 and 9 from the left, Red 7 and 8 from the right for the first of our new manoeuvres in 2025. This is the chainsaw.
So, on, steady, visual.
Red 6 and 9 inverted for up to 30 seconds, all the blood rushing to their head. Conversely, they now turn all the negative G into positive G. All the blood in their head now rushing to their feet. They're working hard against the G pants. Keep an eye on Red 7 and 8 to the left-hand side as they complete the chainsaw. In from the left-hand side, Enid's Reds 1 through 5, the smoke is on.
2 and 3, roll, good.
2 and 3, roll go as Reds 2 and 3 roll to the outside.
Go.
Clear go as Reds 4 and 5 roll to the outside. In one of the hardest manoeuvres for our new pilots to master each year, this is the rollbacks. As Enid leaves to the right, look directly to your front once again over the wind farms. You're looking for Hannah and the nose lights and the smoke to come on. 8 and 9 roll go, the red and the blue from 8 and 9 roll go as they roll around the smoke in Red 6 for the second of our new manoeuvres for 2025. Red 6, Red 8, Red 9, and hiding in the smoke of Red 6 is Red 7 in the Tempest. Synchro pair now break. They pull up to 1,000 to 1,500 feet for their final manoeuvre of the show. Once again, they'll turn back towards the display line. Each aircraft will perform a barrel roll. They'll cross in the middle, wingtip to wingtip, only 30 meters. That's 100 feet. Before going inverted to leave the display area. In a manoeuvre called the crossbow.
Go. Roll, go.
As the synchro pair leave to our rear, look directly to your front. Once again, another fantastic photo opportunity. Enid joined by Red 8 and 9. The smoke comes on. Clacton, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please put your hands together for the 2025 Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team. It's the Red Arrows! Red 1 puts his smoke on, he'll gather the rest of the formation, take them back to RAF Mildenhall where we'll refuel, re-dye the jets, and we'll travel down to Exeter for a show later on this evening at 6:30 in Sidmouth on the southwest coast. Before then coming back to Mildenhall tomorrow, and then we're off to Denmark to display on Sunday, and then we go down to Poland for the rest of the week. Yeah, an extremely busy week for us from Denmark down to Poland. As I said, it's my fourth and final year on the team. If you want to follow the Red Arrows, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, RAF Red Arrows. I have my own pilot account, RAF Red 10. Find me. You can follow the rest of the team as well. As I said, fourth and final year on the team. It's been an absolute honour and a pleasure to be part of this team and represent the Royal Air Force. I hope you have a good time in the future. Thanks for all your support. Goodbye.
basically the emotional area actually that we fly over all the facilities, starting from the close by as well. I mean, actually don't fly only from the fly straight over like that program. So very, very easy. Tony, thank you so much for seeing us on BBC Essex, and we can't wait for this race this afternoon. Thank you very much. It's lovely and pleasant to be again in the airline. Good luck on your flight.
Yes, I'd like to make mention of the rich visuals on the Bronco. That was a knife-edge class, which is one of my favourites. We're going to be seeing some ultimate aerobatic flies, twirling, some spinning, some rolling, plenty of G and high-end fun. So get your cameras ready, because this is going to be an absolute delight. The vertical there is powered by a 6-cylinder, 8.5-litre life-only engine, producing over 300 horsepower. It has an excellent power-to-weight ratio. The aircraft is incredibly lightweight, weighing just 700 kilograms. And over 200 miles per hour, which will be pulling G up to 6G minus 5 during the display.
Well, I'll have to have a look there. I'll ask you to look at me now, and I'll get back to you.
The registration and its
I'll call you back in about 5 minutes. Based on its
STS fuselage and incorporates modifications to the aircraft, not least a huge wing.
Okay, I'll give him a call. What time does he get there? Because he can look at an email, surely, and then just have a look at it. Okay, can you send me a message? I'll have a look there. If not, I'll phone back. Okay, so from what time do you open? 9 o'clock. Okay, alright, okay, thank you. Cheers.
Amazing! It's just like hovering in the sky. It's incredible to see this biplane just hover almost like a helicopter would.
And then he was just gently sliding down a tail slide down slowly and then pulling away. You'll notice here that in times of the display there's moments like this when you just come down with yourself, you settle the aircraft before pulling into another high energy maneuver. One of the talents of aerobatic routines is on-off aerobatics. One moment goes, super slowly, and then moving, and the next minute, high-speed twirling.
Flying high into the sky, turning as he goes, now down again, that smoke, environmentally friendly smoke trailing out the back. Smoke is now off, the British now makes his way along the seafront, from left to right, there's a nice view of the
Now this is based on a special aircraft that was found at Pittsburgh in removed and the engine mount modified to take the titanium sprung payload, and then there's a reshape from carbon power to reduce weight and profile drag. It's a modified ROS design to give it a better look and more powerful yaw control, which basically means that the aircraft side to side. It has new wings, as I mentioned, running absolutely amazing roll rates. Now, ordinarily, this aircraft is fitted with two 87 jet turbine engines carrying up to 700 pounds of thrust, but at the moment those engines are away on Holland for maintenance, so today we're just flying just through 8.5 metre like only air journey.
We met Rich yesterday on BBMF, and it was a big chat. You really have to be that, don't you? I mean, people might think you're just sitting in an aircraft with a control, but the physical toll on your body to do this is incredible.
It is, and is absolute priority for aerobatic pilots if they're to actually be comfortable and capable of flying these high energy manoeuvres. And in fact, both yesterday and today, Rich went for a Firebirds pilot, and they went for like a 45-minute run before breakfast.
And then decimated the breakfast buffet, apparently.
Yeah, I think they went to third. Now, the Pitts is known around the world as the Pitts Specials revolutionary aerobatic competitions. They fly recreationally and air displays. But the origins of the aircraft date back to the 1940s when Clacton Airshow in the USA designed the original aircraft, which took to the skies in 1944. This aircraft was the legacy of that type, albeit a modernised variant introduced today, but a true testament to firstly design and work that 80 years on, the Pitts Special is still flying. Now, the second ever Pitts that was built was an aircraft that was owned by a famous pilot called Betty Selson. She's one of my aviation heroes. Now, she built the second Pitts Special, and she built a little stinker, and she would go and fly at air shows and do a glorious trip where she got a member of the public to hold up and another only winning to a flame on the local areas, she's also not just the French aerobatic champion, but I believe she's the current British aerobatic champion as well.
But it's good to mention and hopefully we'll see that at future Clacton Airshows. Well, that was absolutely epic. I think Richard's just bangs round now. Just see him now to my right. He's coming past us on the seafront. He's just dipped his left knee down. He's got a really
Now, Rich is an ex-REM Tornado pilot and a retired commercial airline pilot. He used to fly Boeing 767s. If you ever flown during your holidays at some stage, he's been flying aerobatics for more than 30 years. He's also flied the Hawk in advanced army training, but the buzz and thrill is filling an aircraft around the sky. He's never left it. He absolutely adores flying aerobatics.
I'm not sure how I'd feel if I was strapped in ready to go off to Alicante or something, and I heard that your pilot was British. I'd obviously be reassured in some ways, but I'd be a bit nervous as well.
I think you're in very good hands.
Very funny stuff. Very funny stuff on the 737.
Now, Rich's already performed at 20 air shows so far this year. He's been performing in the UK and France. Now, after this show, he'll be going over to the Channel Islands, back to France and more shows in the UK, performing at air shows and private events. So if you're looking for something a bit different, perhaps for a special occasion, maybe a wedding, Rich is available.
And as he heads off back to Clacton Airport, where he's going to be landing, shall we give him a great big round of applause? got such a distinctive look in the sky as it passes now over the bumpy green farms that we were talking about earlier, coming back now towards the end of the pier. A great view if you're watching on the end of the pier, and good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us on the Essex. The light is on, coming towards us.
Now, the Bronco is actually nicknamed the Clacton Bronco because of its amazing manoeuvrability. If you look down the centre of the display line, the gear is down, and Tony is showing us the slow pass, sometimes called the dirty pass, of the gear down. Now, this aircraft during the display will go from super slow speed to high speed. Watch out for the really short turning radius of the aircraft. So if you're perhaps listening to this on the phone, please beckon your youngsters off out of the water and back onto the beach, please. If they're straying onto the water, that's a safety issue for us. So please help the beach patrollers follow their instructions and stay out of the water whilst the aircraft are flying. Look at that sun catching those bright orange wingtips as Tony bangs round very high in the sky. You get that distinctive look of that twin tail, bit of smoke coming out, coming down much lower now for a great photo. See the belly of the aircraft, the cargo area sound can hold a lot of stuff. 2,400 pounds of cargo, 6 paratroopers or 2 stretchers for the model. Give you a little bit of a concept of the context of the capabilities of this aircraft. So it's American Firebirds light aircraft Captain observation aircraft developed in the 1960s, especially for contact search and combat. One of its primary missions was as a forward advanced patrol aircraft. It was in fact designed by U.S. Marines, very conceptual and simple. The aircraft was flown in first flight on July 1965, and it served in three U.S. branches from 65 until 95, the Air Force, the Navy, and the Marines.
Lots of boats out to sea in the safe zone, watching the aircraft from the other side, including one of those barges those 10 barges. I'm guessing that will be Thistle on her 130th birthday. Apologies if it's Pudge, but I know Thistle was planning to be here to celebrate its 130th birthday at the Clacton Airshow. With our customers on board and cheerleaders. That's nice. That's a cooler wing wagon.
Very much enormous wing wagon. Now Tony's really showing off the capabilities of the aircraft there. So when they were actually used in kind of combat situation, the Bronco would be used for armour protection. It has bullet-resistant windshield, self-sealing fuel cells, it's ideal for operating in a hostile environment. The Bronco can loiter for up to 3 hours at speeds of 350 miles per hour. And it will be seen in countries such as Germany, Thailand, Venezuela and Indonesia. As we said earlier, the Vietnam War used them, as well as in the Philippines.
I love the fact that the original idea is that the British will be amphibious. I think that would be absolutely amazing. Tony would love that, wouldn't he?
Oh, we would have loved it, for sure. It's doing a deep dive now, they're doing, as he comes down towards the Thames barges to the centre of the display line. The gear is down. Now that gear was designed to allow the crew to operate to land on the boats. It can also operate from an aircraft carrier. And Tony's flown the Bronco over from his base at Wilmenhall of Pontefract in Belgium, just on the area of the Flanders Field. It takes him about 40 minutes to fly to Clacton. Now those of you that have long camera lenses or seen photographs of the Bronco will notice that the aircraft is in a dark green colour with an orange tip, but it also has German markings. The reason for that is the Belgian airfield where Tony is based from was stolen by the Germans in World War I and Firebirds. And in honour of that, for messages of reconciliation, Tony chose to use the original markings of that aircraft.
We heard from him on BBCS just a few moments ago in an interview with recordings when he came to Hamilton, just waiting for a fly past at that special event to mark the anniversary of the crash of a hurricane at Baltimore Roads 85 years ago. But we are delighted to say, as we look to the skies, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome, from the back of the Freight Memorial Flight, we have the Spitfire and we have the Hurricane.
So we have the Spitfire Mark 19 flying for you this afternoon and the Hurricane Mark 2C. This Hurricane is 80 years old this year and it's flown by our lieutenant this afternoon. The Spitfire is flown by Andy Breeze.
We are so honoured and privileged to have these two aircraft with us. Such history, aviation history in the skies above us as they bank round in formation. Again, we're at the end of the pier, you've got a lovely view as they now pass over those boats. Loads of boats out to sea today, watching and listening to BBMF, and they're coming now gradually towards us here on the seafront for a much closer look to the legends of the sky.
The Spitfire, the most famous military aircraft of all time, and arguably one of the most beautiful ever built. The Spitfire is perhaps chiefly remembered as a symbol of the Battle of Britain. Meanwhile, the Hot Hurricane is the unsung hero of the Battle of Britain. This aircraft, born from the famous corporate design stable with the creation of the Great Signal Can, was his response to the RAF's urgent requirement for a low-wing monoplane fighter to balance the threat from Nazi Germany and its rearmament during the mid-1930s.
I've heard pilots in the past say that the Hurricane is one of the hardest aircraft to fly. And you see it now leading the Spitfire going past us. We've got a wonderful view of the undercarriage of both aircraft as they swoop round and over towards a very large vessel aircraft. That's a wind farm service vehicle or fixer upper. So that's the boat right now. Zooming now into the sky away from us. The Spitfires have one of their latter versions that we have the Mark 19.
Yes, the Mark 19 Spitfire, in this particular version, is used for photo reconnaissance in lifetime the last ever built.
The growth in Spitfire squadrons was simply incredible. By the outbreak of war in 1939, 9 squadrons were equipped. Despite a vigorous command from France, the Commander-in-Chief of the Fighter Command refused to send any Spitfires to France during the German blitzkrieg in 1940. The wisdom of that decision was confirmed by July 1940. RAF Fighter Command had 19 Spitfire Mark 1 squadrons available. Once the RAF modified their tactics to properly counter the Goodwin, the Spitfire Mark 1 proved to be the only British fighter capability meeting the American terms. Often the outcome of the combat depended more on the quality of the pilot than the aircraft. More Spitfires were built than any other British combat aircraft in 4 or 6 World War II, a total of 20,341.
This particular Spitfire, so the Mark 19, registration 61, currently resides with the BBMF Heritage Centre, and they restored her into airport by this afternoon was Flight Lieutenant and Police MP. He has over 4,000 hours on 30 aircraft types, notably the Tornado GR1, the Hawk, Hunter, and Harrier GR7. Later in his career, he was the tutor display pilot for the BBMF for 6 years.
As they flow with five-star microphones here at BBCS's commentary there. Thousands of miles away from the Clacton, you could have heard that. I guess you might have had the same goosebumps that I had. I reckon I'd be able to listen to.
And of course, there's a double whammy here because we've got the Merlin engine in the Hurricane and the Grob engine in the Spitfire, which was introduced into the latter editions of the Spitfire in the later part of the war. They were considered the more advanced American engines, which helped to first to ultimate victory. Now this Spitfire, sorry, this Hurricane, the 865, 80 years old last month, July. It's the last model prototype built, a total of over 3,500. She first flew on the 2020 July 1944, and where's this picture? The last of the many.
Royal Air Force back to Britain Memorial Flight operates several aircraft, tirelessly working to keep peace through the skies. We were hoping for the Lancaster bomber to come to see us in Clacton this year, but speaking to one of the team a little earlier, telling us that a radiator is needed. He's been laid up now for a few days, and it'll take a few more to sort that radiator issue. Of course, we're hoping to see him back in the skies very soon. There's just huge airworthy areas around the world, so it's so important that we do lest we forget the motto of the back of the book.
And the other Lancaster plays that the airshow has been doing. There's all the basic
quarter, we can go to speed to height from first maneuver to hammerhead. Right, let's take Bob Tutor from Carmarthen, South Wales. Started his flying career in the Royal Air Force in 1989, flying the King of the Skies at the B-10 at Varia Pride Norton. Then became a sales and rescue pilot in Seagate. In the end of his half horizontal, forward now approaching, making it 2G, leveling the aircraft upside down from inverted mass. Hanging in his strap, trying to maintain control of the aircraft, this is not the optimal position to be in. This is Bob's second year with the chief flow. He's operating with a base height of 300 feet, except for the two final passes at just 100 feet of on sea. The next manoeuvres are the ballistic roll, which Bob can use to gain in the next part of this sequence. To stay with Tutor requires careful engine management, low power-to-weight ratio, just 170 horsepower for the whole aircraft to fly. When not displayed, Bob is a qualified flying instructor, or QFI, on Goodwin Flying Squadron, based at RAF Flittering, where he trains Flightline pilots into fellow tutor instructors. During his very career, Bob has amassed over 8,000 flying hours on 15 different aircraft types. This represents almost a full year in the air. After this half-even, Bob is about to enter a 4-point roll. It's an excellent photo opportunity for his budding photographers. The Tutor has a top speed of 212 miles per hour or 185 knots, and achieves maximum positive 60. The aircraft is subjected to forces 6 times that of gravity. Next off to the left, another wing over. A combined pitching and rolling maneuver. You should turn the aircraft in 180 degrees. You'll notice that each wing over is slightly different as Bob carefully selects a flight path against the different conditions an aircraft energy state. Bob now rolls 90 degrees while pointing straight up before completing a stall turn at almost 0 airspeed. 290 degree turn to left, 290 direct. The Tutor is operated by number 6 Flying Training School in partnership with Bronco International, primarily flying University Air School students and RAF Air Cadets. There are 13 air experience flights across the UK, with flights up to 20,000 cadets each year. This could be you if you're between 13 and 20 years old. Up to 50 cadets a year have been taught to fly Tutor as a solo standard, flying it on their own. After this conventional stall turn, Bob will enter a slow roll. Particularly vulnerable to the wind in the Tutor, Grob, the manufacturer, primarily makes gliders. The Tutor, despite being powered, is built like a glider, and is very light, therefore it's a particularly skillful display of the industry revenue we have today. During the slow roll, you may notice Royal Air Force benevolent from heart in the belly of this aircraft, seats its full to celebrate this fantastic charity. We're proud to raise some awareness of the charity does so much for RAF personnel, air cadets and veterans. I know we've had A-levels also recently. For those of you going to university, there are 15 university air squadrons across the UK. On the squadrons, students are taught to fly the Tutor and highly experienced military flying instructors like Bob. It is worth mentioning that the UAS syllabus is 80 hours long, completely free, and does include solo aerobatics. Members are not committed to a military career after graduation, though that's something you decide to do, they will support you every step of the way. Now in the high-engine section of the display, the quarter over, derry turn, and now loop, all quintessential aerobatic maneuvers. Today, the Royal Air Force is recruiting for multiple rewarding and demanding professions, with the continued development of our combat, utility, and maritime patrol aircraft, as well as UK Space Command. Now recently joined at Korea by the introduction of our newest aircraft, E-7 Wedgetail, and also remotely piloted capabilities with Protector. Down to just 100 meters. The high tempo of operating their social media, Instagram and Facebook. We'll be more than happy to repost your photos with your permission, of course. Well, now bringing the tutor around with the parting wave of just one good beat. Yes, we will be able to see you waving. A big thank you to Clacton Airshow 2025 hosting us today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the 2025 Royal Air Force Tutor. And our special thanks to Flying Officer Sebastian Wilson from the Tutors Display Team. A big thank you from all of us here at Clacton. That was epic. I will be doing a lot of places, but it's going to be missing thanks
little bit later on this afternoon, the Firebirds will be back with a Mustang, a Bronco, and maybe even better Spotmasters are all to go. But as we look to go right now, right on cue, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's welcome the Lynx 887 helicopter. From the right, for the pass. That was an excellent opportunity for a photo. We're going to see some incredible aerobatics with aircraft aren't we? Climbing into the sky, you can see several wing overs. So get your cameras ready for some infrared cover like no other. You're going to see a wonderful cover 300 feet above the sea with a very slow cruise return, basically. So cameras at the right ready. This is something rather special. Here we go. Turning to face the ground, up to our right at the moment, flying towards the Martel Tower. Again, it's a graceful turn, backwards a little bit more, so everybody on that is going to get a direct read. Bit high now in the skies. Right in front of us on the commentary What again this particular Lynx has been through. Project Lynx, based on various measurements of they aim to return these helicopters to the sky so they can be remembered for the roles they played in British military in the past. They acquired this particular helicopter in 2019, and since then it's been based at Grob Tutor, and is now a real dedicated Lynxes. There are 4 refurbished get, you know, the thing out for the aerobatics and this is the Firebirds.
Not sure I'm quite going to
The last Clive answer. Mustang Bronco Tutor frame videos that ran behind Quadronics. It's actually purchased another link since he talked about this one. It's got a Flightline Alpha. Eventually the Mustang Star is in the process of being pre-installed, so maybe we're going to see another one in the future.
It's lovely to see the preservation of this historic rotary aircraft for airshow entertainment. They help preserve that heritage for future generations to learn about that role when they were deployed in the military.
Well, thank you so much for waving as Clive dipped his nose down to the crowd before that rapid descent off over the pier and into the distance along the Thames coastline. What about that, Clacton? Let's hear it for let's hear it. Welcome, Team Raven.
centre of the crowd line now. We've got a duo pair of racers trying to walk directly in the middle of the season and pitching up one following the other. Focus training, flying very close formation as they roll over the top with beautiful synchronised harmony. Now that's it in Rainbow 1 and Rainbow 2, Patrick Wilson. He is the youngest and newest member of the team, joined at the beginning of this season. He's yet to realise how difficult it is in natural formation. Pilot and extremely knowledgeable. He's also a commercial airline pilot and mainly flown on holidays. Past the centre, we've got three aircraft with the fourth aircraft trailing around the smoke trail behind. And in position 3 is Goodwin, the engineer for the team. He's been flying with the team since 2022. He has over 6,000 flying hours, mostly on co-driver aircraft, and claims to have done more than 1,000 air displays, which is one of the most air displays and aimed air display pilots on the circuit. In position 4 we have Gerald Williams. Now Gerald is famous as a Welsh rock player. He likes to organise the displays and the main technical show organisers. He's got an amazing sense of humour. He knows a great deal of the cockpit of the RE8. Despite never being in the military, he's trained largely with military pilots and has huge amounts of discipline and skill.
Good old Gerald likes to tell the organisers, we all need a Gerald, don't we, to let us sit sorted. Rating 5, I can see a young little child that comes straight towards us now on their lifetime and their strength training. Rating 5 this year is Russ Swell, ex-C4 display pilot.
Joining the centre line, we've got Raiders 5 and 6.
ask next time you speak to one of the guys on Firebirds, the people that fly these self-built aircraft, I must ask how long it takes to put it together, because I've had flat pack furniture before that's taken days, and I just wonder how long it takes to build your own aircraft.
There's a question here that Goodwin spent 2 years building and modifying his jet kit.
Oh, that's nice. Those 3 members of Team Raven.
In fact, Bronco aircraft are one of the most popular self-built aircraft in the world, if not the most popular.
The precision of that manoeuvre is they just leap round, now going back up into the sky with the really trails of space right from the aircraft. You can see that the aircraft are exactly the correct distance away from each other because the smoke really round. You can see the route of the aircraft is taking. It looks absolutely
And that thing that accuracy comes from lots and lots of practice, not just in the air, but also on the ground. You've always seen on social media some of the pilots have been sharing videos of them doing walkthroughs by the plane.
With their strength on, and they are in the sky, drawing a great big heart. And just before the 2 reach the bottom of the heart, to complete the heart, we have a third raven piercing it like an arrow through the centre of the heart. With the smoke just making it look like it's gone right through the centre of the heart. That was special. Is that familiar with you?
I think that's the love of that kind of pilots, what they only want to show to their life, and to show the love. And the fact that they're returning back to the new and more, they're here at Clacton over the last 9 years, they really do love the love. And there they go, flying away into the distance over Clacton here. The Team Raven making their way over to home.
One more chance as they line up in formation. It's lovely how we saw them gathering together in the skies and coming perfectly together in one line as they soar above us. The smoke goes on. How about that, Clacton? Let's hear it for Team Raven. One by one, leading away and into the distance in front of us. So fascinating to see how the 6 just came together in the skies to our left. Turned and then flew in such close formation.
Was that heartbreak before they knew the leadership she did go? I was chatting to Sid the other evening and he was saying it's like our favourite of theirs. It's very effective when you try to carry behind.
And again, how interesting to watch how the 6 aircraft were all separate, but then within seconds, look how they come together in a cluster. Almost like a swarm of bees, 6 together now, so tight, you can barely get the distance, see any distance between them.
About to be a part of my mother. Now the rain is actually not in the pattern we were saying, I was about it. We were saying that we must the curve of the coastline, here at the far end. You can see the audience down on the beach, and he absolutely loves it. But when they land, they walk along the seafront and
piloted by Andrew Davis, his mum, chief pilot, a volunteer pilot. Andrew is flying for us today the Fairy Swordfish. Now this is an aircraft that dates back many years. And I'd like to mention somebody who was involved with the Fairy Swordfish. His name is Squadron Leader Lionel Welsh. He flew from HMS Victorious as part of the flight that spotted the fuselage, which we're going to talk about. One of the main roles the Swordfish had, that history of spotting the fuselage and attacking it. He never talked about his role in the Swordfish, but after my mother died, says Heather, I found his war record and loads of photos. So let's mention Heather, who used to work in Clacton, and her dad, the late Squadron Leader Lionel Welsh, who was one of the pilots of this Fairy Swordfish as it comes directly into us, banking up and dipping down the right wing, so we see the beautiful underbelly of this very old biplane. And we're going to tell you a little bit more about it and its illustrious past over many decades.
W5856 is the oldest living airworthy Fairy Swordfish in the world. He first flew on Canada Day on the 21st of October 1941 and was a Blackfish, built by Blackburn Aircraft, Sherburn and Elmet, and delivered to the 82 Squadron on the 20th of October 1941 for overseas transport to Gibraltar. She served the Royal Navy and Mediterranean Fleet for a year. You know about her first? In the Mediterranean, it was like she was based on the north side of Gibraltar, carrying out patrols over the Straits. She was then returned to Paris, stopped off for the first refurbishment during the winter of 1942-53.
The wonderful sound of that Bristol Pegasus engine. We're getting that from our microphones onto the sets. Passing this time, again showing us around belly from the right to the left. Very distinctive markings, which we will tell you about as well. And Fighter Jonathan Hearn, who came all the way from Australia last year to see this plane. Came to see us at the Clacton Airshow, which is listening at home, down under. His father clearly is amazing aircraft.
It was such a privilege, wasn't it, to live as part of logbook and see the training flights and the missions that we took part in. Now, this aircraft is used for advanced flying training. She was transferred from the Indian Navy in 1944, again for more training roles in the Atlantic War. She was based on Palestine. Women operators, one being a farmer, thought that her plans were to go into a top sprayer, and she was quickly purchased by Sir William Wallace, who moved her over to Scotland to join his Goodwin collection, and then she arrived in France in August 1977, but in a badly corroded condition. Then in 1990, the aircraft was bought by British Aerospace and completely restored to its flying position. Her first successful test flight was in May 1993, when she was gifted to the Royal Navy Historic Flight, and 3 years later was adopted by the City of Leeds, in tribute to the late company that built the Swordfish component during World War II. She now wears a Swedish coat of arms, and the name on her port-sized just scores of the pilot's cockpit. And faced elevation by the huge Bronco Foundation. The aircraft joined the displacer 10 years ago in 2015, and she carries a UK screen in which depicts the
paintjob really is quite striking. It's a real black and white stripe across each top and bottom wing, and also the tail. From May 2024, it's very saltish. Got that fresh and painted D-Day blazing stripes colour. And we talked about the role that the sorters play, the crucial role in protecting convoys from U-boats attacks on the back of the Atlantic. Also, sinking the Italian fleet at Taranto, and of course putting the mighty Bismarck. But Taranto is a battle that really stands out on the 11th and 12th of November in 1940. It was a battle between British naval forces under Admiral Andrew Cunningham and Italian naval forces. The Royal Navy launched the first all-aircraft ship-to-ship naval attack in history, employing 21 of these fairly sorted biplanes, torpedo bombs, from the aircraft carrier HMS Illustrious in the Mediterranean Sea. The attack struck the battle fleet of the Regia Marina at anchor in the harbour of Taranto, using aerial torpedoes despite the shallowness of the water. And according to Admiral Cunningham, Taranto, and the night of the 11th and 12th of November 1940, should be remembered forever as having shown once and for all that in the fleet air arm, the Navy has its most devastating weapon.
The Swordfish has a stately 90 knots cruise when lightly laden and 82 knots anchor with a torpedo under slant and has a very reliable engine. Now the crew on board those missions are really not afforded too much comfort. There is no heater on board, it's open cockpit and all you've got is fabric covering on the seats. So that's really no shelter from the cold in the winter, and been particularly cold on those Arctic missions. And with the wing waggle on the front there, you can see just how highly manoeuvrable the Blackfish is. Despite her lack of speed, there is very few criticisms of the aircraft other than it should perhaps go a little bit faster, but ultimately reliable. And sometimes that slow speed was actually to her advantage, as the enemy bombs often found it difficult to offset their sighting on such a slow target.
And a beautiful little wing handle as the fairly sorted Andrew Davis mum to his friends made his pass from left to right, just dipping one wing, then the other, one wing, then the other, and very gracefully maneuver. If you're in that barge over there, that Thames sailing barge, you It's a lot of work to put into this. Why does the council want to do it? This goes at the controls of this Mark 19 photo reconnaissance Spitfire from the Rolls-Royce Historic Air Fleet.
Producing greater numbers than any other British combat aircraft before or since World War II. 20,341 Spitfires were built in 22 different variants, and the aircraft remained in production for 12 years. The prototypes made flight took place on the 5th of March 1936, and Mark 1 Flightline entered aerial service in August 1938. The development potential of the original design allowed the Spitfire to establish and maintain air superiority of the vital defence of Britain and to keep pace with the improvements in performance of enemy fighters throughout World War II. Spitfires fought in every operational theatre of war and remained in aria frontline service up to 1954. At the end of its development, the Spitfire carried an engine producing more than twice the power of the original. Maximum takeoff weight and rate of climb had been more than doubled. Its firepower had increased by a factor of 5, and its maximum speed had increased by a third. During World War II, powered by the Goodwin engine.
And didn't we just hear that power, 2,050 horsepower Goodwin engine? Absolutely wonderful. Now just high in the sky to our left. We're about to swoop much lower over to the sea, aiming at that old point in front of us. Tipping the left wing down to see down there. Really Spitfire, beautiful power is just so wonderful.
The first German Spitfire PR Mark 19 was completed in October 1944, powered by a Rolls-Royce Griffin 66. A direct descendant of both the bus engine and the Dixon power plant included its design routes as a tight lower cabin pressurization. The engine is a 2,050 horsepower liquid-cooled V12 with two-speed, two-stage supercharger. Capable of flying up to
Also features in 1969 film Backward Britain, where it was painted into the 10th markings to represent different squadrons during filming. It's now back in the RAF field, as I mentioned, representing its time as a photographic reconnaissance aircraft. The Rolls-Royce Heritage Flight acquired here in 1995, one of the final 3 Spitfires to be retired from the RAF. And then absolutely love bringing her to displays like this around the UK during the summer season.
Rolls-Royce see this airplane as a dynamic and exciting ambassador not just for the company, but also to inspire the younger generation and hopefully encourage them to choose science or engineering-based careers.
That's better. So cloud clear slightly, a little bit of sun comes through just to warm us up a little. Kind of a little chilly, I'll be honest, on the seafront, but the warmth of the sun soon breaking out. And starting to glint on that blue colour scheme of the electrical wing of the Spitfire. Moving straight towards us now on the seafront before heading up into the sky, banging around to her right and her left.
Now, here Mark 19, this particular Spitfire was a final prototype of Mrs. Variant of the Spitfire and had very last operational sortie. Spitfire was in first April 1954 when the Mark 19 flew a photographic mission during the Malaya campaign over the jungles of Johor. The Mark 19 is also the last RAF serving Spitfire type, the last being a Mark 19 capture and humidity flight at RAF Goodwin, not being struck off until June 1957. Bears the original wartime colour scheme of PRU blue and original RAF serial of PS853, although it's also known by its national registration of GRRGN. Rolls-Royce bought her in 1996 as a highly recognisable example of British engineering excellence. She remains as popular today as she was just after the war.
just for ease as we're out and about today, wire@bbc.co.uk on the email is probably the best bet. Please can we get a shout out of the Clacton Airshow. Hello to Izzy, Sophia, George, Goodwin and Rupert, who are watching on land from sailing boat Mira. Brandon and Ethan are watching out to sea. So there we are, a couple of minutes by the radio. And what a treat. Now, we weren't going to promise you red, white and blue smoke, because we weren't sure it was going to happen, but by goodness it has. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of Clacton, let's welcome the Firebirds. Red smoke from the tips of one wing, blue smoke from the other, and white from the winner of the aircraft. Both of them trailing red, white and blue as they fly from right to left now.
Your hot rod of the sky, your aircraft are perhaps the most popular self-built aircraft in the world, originally designed in America. These have been fully modified for aerobatic routines. We're having a little bit on the country point here with fantastic music accompanying these aerobatic displays from the Firebirds. These aircraft weigh a third of a VW Golf car, around 700 kilograms, but they are powered by a mighty 5.3 litre 160 horsepower engine, giving it the performance of a hot rod. Normal cruising speed is 160 miles per hour. Pilots don't do normal. So during display, you can see them travelling as high as even 0 miles per hour or 200 miles per hour as they make the most of the entire flight envelope.
Wow, close formation from Nigel and John as they now fly from left to right, banking up into the sky, splitting off, fanning out, and heading in either direction. Now, what I love about the fact that, as we said before, when the smoke trails out the aircraft, you can see the precision of the flying because it marks the track of the aircraft. Both by loop in the sky, now one is chasing the other. The sun is glinting on their brakes, bodies. The liveries are all white in these Firebird aircraft.
Lovely little wing over to the left there, they're flying in absolute close formation aerobatics. The pilots are highly practiced and trained aerobatic flying. They practice routine not just in the air, but also walking it through on the ground. And in fact, yesterday they were talking about the routine using spoons at the breakfast table.
That would have been something to see, I think.
Now, one of the things the pilots also do before breakfast is they go running because keeping physical fitness is super important for display pilots. During the routine, they will be going up to 6 G. The human body is only designed to sustain lunging in time. Pulling 6 G is the equivalent of a cow sitting on their chest. The sun is glinting on their brakes, bodies. The pilots are fully modified for aerobatic routines. The pilots are highly practiced and trained aerobatic flying. They practice routine not just in the air, but also walking it through on the ground. And in fact, yesterday they were talking about the routine using spoons at the breakfast table.
Lights on the tips of each wing, piercing through the clouds, right. As they make one to the left, one to the right, up into the sky now.
Now we're performing a little opposition manoeuvres now. We've got one aircraft power plant from the other, but we are still in absolute synchronisation. So a day turn and then flying towards one another on the straight and level, directly in front of the power plant as they pull up with a slow trailing into a flight.
They did a half from the bottom up, rather than the top down. Very nice.
So that's on our toes. Now, of course, when it comes to the top of the horn and just tip over the top, that's when we start to see negative G. And then we come up to minus 3 negative G rather than in the 13. And you can tell that G force in the negative is extremely uncomfortable, and that's where the physical fitness really comes into play. The pilots will be bracing and clenching their muscles as they perform the routine.
Clenching and launching, I can imagine them now, as the two now flying almost crossover right in front of us. One is coming from the left, one is coming from the right. They've got wonderful both paths. Now, I know Michael has been probably saying, I've been lucky enough to do a mix of flying, military and civil stuff, big aeroplanes and little aeroplanes, but this is really a lot of fun. And John, our number 2, does a lot of spitfire and Mustang flying, but he says what he's doing in the RB4 is some of the best flying there is. And who can argue with that when we see what they're able to do with these two aircraft, very low aircraft.
Now, as we saw last night, they did use the pyrotechnic routine, and they've got the colour wing slits colours that are coming red, white and blue out of the aircraft wing slits this afternoon. And they said to me this is an exclusive to Clacton Airshow. The first time they've done that migration routine, they are now available to do gender reveals. So if you fancy seeing a gender reveal with something different in the sky, get in touch with the Firebirds.
see how the breeze has picked up because the slope marking up moving quite quickly now towards Clacton Deer. Thank you so much for the shot. Thank you for the love. I think Clacton, that was for all of us, from John and Nigel. Let's hear it for the Firebirds.
Thank you to Nigel Reid, James Robinson, and Everett. They're going through for the Firebirds.
on the beach here in Clacton, arriving from over the pier and soaring up towards Goodwin. The Mustang has arrived.
Flying this afternoon is Dave Collison from the Ultimate Fighters. Dave's been passionate about flying vintage aircraft for as long as he can remember, and he's a very well-known face around the air display circuit.
After that low pass, from left to right, we got a slower pass with the right wing down, a wonderful view of the underbelly of this P51 Mustang known as Jersey Jerk, and a wonderful sound of that Packard Merlin engine as it soars into the sky over the end of Clacton Pier. Not looking in bad shape, Sam, for an aircraft manufactured in 1947.
Yes, she was manufactured in Melbourne, Australia. Now, of course, most of the Mustangs were actually produced in the US Air Force, of course, but a lot of them were produced in California. But this one was built in Australia. The reason I think she's in such good condition is she spent many years of her life, many decades, actually sat in storage. Although she was delivered in 1948, she sat in store until 1957. Decades later, she reappeared as a restoration project on Fort Lauderdale in Florida, shipped back to Australia to Queensland in May 1995. It was then in her first element of her restoration in 2002, where she was configured with dual control and then 2 decades later, she was eventually sold in 2020 and acquired by Ultimate Airshow's who own her and operates out of Silo in Northamptonshire. The UK start in the stunning colours of the P51 Mustang Jersey Jerk, a personal mount of Major Donald Strait of the 361st Fighter Squadron 356 category, and this is known in 2024 as her maiden flight of a rebuilt assault aircraft.
The top 8 of the US Air Force flew from Market to in Suffolk in World War II. In 122 missions, he achieved 13.5 aerial victories, including 3 in a single mission in 1945. The P51 that Major Strait is best known for was his Jersey Jerk. In 1944, he became the CEO of the 361st Flying School. He was decorated 9 times, and the final honour was induction into the New Jersey Aviation Hall of Fame.
Now, yesterday evening we were honoured with the appearance of another Mustang, the Moonbeam Leading Flyer, the P51D. And talking to the pilot, Alistair said, William Johnson, yeah, that's a second-time Mustang, what do you know about it? And so he put it this way, if I had a choice, I would have flown a Mustang as a fighter aircraft and flown a Spitfire for leisure. He said, that's an honour and a privilege to fly such a wonderful and capable aircraft. The P51 Mustang was the most versatile aircraft, capable of escorting bombers on their long-range missions, invading dogfights and dropping down to destroy the German targets on the ground. She's an American long-range single-seat fighter and fighter bomber. She's also been used not just for World War II, but the Korean War and other conflicts. Although she's an American aircraft, she spent a lot of time flying out of Britain during World War II, supporting Britain and the Allied troops on those bomber escort missions. full potential is developed, and I also realise that the aircraft has really been ignored for far too long, and they forged the American airplane, but with the British Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, which is unmatched by any other Piston aircraft of World War II.
Now, this year's Mustang display carries a poignant local connection due to the 80th anniversary of the loss of a P-51D off the coast of Clacton during the Second World War. Yes, not far from where we stand today in Clacton, on January the 13th, 1945. A Mustang known as Little Zippy ditched into the North Sea, tragically claiming the life of flying officer Raymond E. King. It was decades later that the aircraft was recovered, and now forms the centrepiece of the East Essex Aviation Museum, which is just around the coast from here in Point Clear, St. Ozers. And there's an extract from the words which accompany their display of Little Zippy. They say Flight Officer Raymond King, based at Washington in Suffolk, experienced engine failure and ditched his aircraft just 800 yards from the seafront in Clacton. Although rescued by the crew of the Clacton lifeboat, he never survived his ordeal in the bitterly cold sea and tragically died from hypothermia. His body was laid to rest at the American Military Cemetery at Madinley, and after the end of the hostilities was returned to the United States of America. The aircraft, Little Zippy, was recovered from the sea in 1987 and can now be seen in the East Essex Aviation Museum in Point Clear. Now, we can hear from a man called Albert Scott who remembers seeing that tragic incident 80 years ago. BAC Strike Master yesterday, but today we have both of them, the Strike Master pair and the Vampire.
Flying SD-2 Vampire this afternoon, Kenneth R. Wiesler from the Norwegian Historic Squadron. Flying the Strike pair, we have Sean Tradition MBE and Ian Bertie Bright. The Norwegian Air Force Historical Squadron is a passion project of Colonel Wiesler, who brought this project about to preserve the excellent historical aircraft in airworthy condition and deliver these unique historic aircraft to the public at air shows all around Europe.
Wow, the clouds really outfield. We have much more blue sky, beautiful shot as the Vampire followed by each of the Strike Masters, sort of all following each other, one after the other, as they went high into the sky. So clear to see the difference in the shape of these aircraft. The Vampire with the twin tail, the Strike Masters. Now, as we look out over the pit to the left, once again flanking either side of the Vampire, as they form that V with the Vampire at the front. So banking round, if you're up towards the Holland or Sea end of Clacton Seafront, we've got a wonderful view from those new beaches all along from the pier up towards Holland. Flying along now, coming over the pier, 3 abreast. A wonderful sight and a great opportunity for your camera as the smoke goes on. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vampire and the Strike Master pair.
During the display, you'll see the jet aircraft carrying silently smoking to full thrust and power, just showing their complete capabilities for their efforts during the Cold War. The de Havilland Vampire was evolved from the VH-100 Vampire, the British jet fighter commissioned by the Royal Air Force during the Second World War. She followed the Gloucester Meteor as a second jet fighter to enter service with the RAF, but she arrived too late to see combat during World War II. The Vampire served on the front line of RAF squadrons from 1953 until her use as a trainer until 1966. The Strike Master is the BAC 167 Strike Master, a British jet-powered trained and light attack aircraft. She is a development of the Hunting Jet Traverse trainer, itself a jet engine version of the Percival Traverse, which originally flew in 1950 with a radial piston engine.
From here end, fast up on the commentary point, now going out over the water. Look at that barge again, sailing barge. The sun really shining, glinting on the wings of each of the 3 aircraft there. And we will get to see each of them in turn. Well, we'll certainly see the Vampire on her own and the Strike Master pair on their own shortly. But let's just for a moment soak up the beauty of the 3 of them together in this formation. Coming now over the Gunfleet Sands wind farm, as if they're coming directly towards us on the prom here in Clacton at the Green Sword. Again, the smoke goes on with Strike Masters. They peel off one by one, leaving the Vampire on her own temporarily, fighting fire on the Strike Masters.
Goodwin. From Essex-based Flightline. Ken Arbusler is the brainchild of Iron Green Norwegian Air Force Historical Squadron, and he's in really capable hands with Kenneth. He's been flying since he was 15 years old, and he's accumulated over 15,000 hours of flying in his career. First off in the military from the 80s, and then onto the airlines, flying for Canadian Airlines and Boeing aircraft. He trained as a forward air controller, directing the Canadian aircraft to find ground targets in the military, and then in Canadian Airlines he was promoted to captain on the Boeing 737s, 456, and 800 aircraft up until the late 1990s. He founded the Norwegian Air Force Historical Squadron and has a huge passion for historical aircraft and classic jets. He's been displaying and flying with the Goodwin vampire since 2007. He's accumulated around 250 hours on the tank and is actively involved in the maintenance of those aircraft. He's always had a passion for aerobatics and used to fly his F-52 before he moved on to the vampire. The Flightmaster pilots today are Goodwin MBE, who joined the RAF from school in the late 80s. He gained his wings on the port and qualified as an instructor on the jet cover. He then was selected to join the Red Arrows and finally here as leader of the Synchro pair. He later also went into the line flying Boeing and Airbus aircraft.
So the Flightmaster is out with us in close formation, flying nicely along the sea fronts and banking up over, as I say, the Holland on sea end, past the pier and further up to Holland, to our left as we look out to sea. We've also got Ian Bertie Brett, haven't we, who has flown the Flightmaster for 4 or 5 years. Second year displaying, 13 years as a display pilot, a Tornado GR4 pilot, then an instructor with RAF Marham. Whilst in the RAF in 2014, RAF tutor manager, display manager, got voted the bug for the airshow world, and around the time started flying the Hawk and Hunter mid-air squadron. That's a good one, he's got the bug, hasn't he?
He was flying at Clacton with the Ravens before joining the Flightmaster team. He said the Flightmaster is a lot of fun to fly. It's very simple and straightforward and very basic. Classical instrumentation, one dials, basically about CVCs that he sees on the line aircraft he flies like the Boeing. He said it's fast, it's nice, it's a graceful aircraft with aerobatic manoeuvres. And of course he loves displaying here at Clacton. He said it's a shame not to be able to land here in a jet as he did when he was on Team Raven. It's always nice to be on the ground and see the public. He said it was a great show. His son is always shining at Clacton. And he just enjoys flying on the East Coast, which he said as a pilot gives him a different perspective. And to you as a crowd, the photographs look slightly different as the sun is in a different position.
It's not called the Sunshine Coast for nothing, you know, here at Sandring. And we've got plenty of it at the moment, as the two, beautifully sail up into the sky, turning to show us each side of the aircraft, up and down, top and bottom.
The jet's maneuverability, and its high performance on the straight-wing aircraft. Forcing slow manoeuvres, closely followed by large vertical manoeuvres. And during the display, the pilots will sustain up to 4G.
Yes, we're getting a turbojet masterclass in manoeuvrability here at Clacton. It's funny, isn't it? It's difficult to sometimes imagine how large the aircraft is when it's in the skies above us. We're looking at a length field of 33 feet, in our picture, so just over 10 metres. So the wind speed is 36 feet 10 inches, 11.2 metres. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of the size of the
speed of 518 miles per hour. That's the never exceed speed limit. I wonder how long it takes them from North Road from here.
About 3 minutes, so that's done.
Now, Bertie has been doing some instructional flying at North Road. He enjoys flying over the Essex license. He's beautiful to fly over. He's been teaching and examining everything from ab initio, first time pilots and sector fighters to jet training.
Someone said on the Facebook group, that's a strike master. And then someone else said, yeah, he's on his way to North Wales every day. So I don't know where Bertie lives, and if he's coming home for lunch or something. But we also see the strike master over the Essex countryside. It gets discussed on various community Facebook groups. And coming in the direction of that, a lovely coast bus. Just in front of us here on the beach, before a soaring out.
During the routine, the high speed will reach up to 400 knots. Lots of crossover passes. Engine, wing hard points capable of carrying 500 pounds worth of AT&T bombs, 2 machine guns, new communication and navigation gear, a different electrical system, and a revised fuel system, including 3 tanks on the wingtip. I love it when they push up to the burst door and you can feel that wall in your chest as they accelerate.
Straight for us from the North Sea and up into the skies. They're on there for about March now with the smoke is spraying as they turn that little vertical one left, one right. But the smoke has now gone off and they've peeled off in either direction. There's a passenger airline a foot right high above us. I'm just wondering if people on the on board that look down and wonder what those people are doing looking at on that season.
Now, of course, it's going to separation because we've got our rules that the aircraft pilots this week abide by, and they have up to 3,000 feet to fly. their routines. And just checking the notes here, and when I interviewed Bertie last year, he said it took 12 minutes to transit from North Wheel, just enough time to warm up, do a little bit of G and get themselves in the aircraft for the display.
And as the strike masters disappear left and right, you might have heard at the roar of the Vampire. The Vampire is back. This aircraft with the double tail, very distinctive shape, showing the Martello Tower end of the Seafaring tail belly. She's now flying along towards the pier.
As we said earlier, the Vampire was the replacement after the Gloucester Meteor, third of RAF schedule between 1953 and used as a trainer up to 1966. She served with many Air Forces worldwide, setting aviation first and records, and was the first RAF fighter to exceed over 500 miles per hour. One of those records was the first carrier landing and takeoff of a jet aircraft performed by test pilot Eric Brown in 1955, when he landed and took off from HMS Ocean. On the 8th of June 1946, the Vampire was introduced to the British public in Fighter Command's 247 Squadron and given the honour of leading a flypast over London at the Victory Day celebration.
Another record on July the 14th, 1948. 6 Vampire of number 54 Squadron RAF became the first jet aircraft to fly across the Atlantic Ocean when they arrived in Goose Bay in Labrador. They went via Stornoway in the Outer Hebrides of Scotland, Iceland, Greenland, and Goose Bay Airfield. They went on to Montreal to start the RAF's annual Goodwin tour of Canada and the US, where they gave formation aerobatic displays. Lots of records set by these aircraft.
Almost 2,300 Vampires were built, a quarter of them under license in other countries. And the Vampire design was also developed into the de Havilland-Boeing fighter bomber, as well as the Navy Sea Vampire variants. Now, given the immense power of the Vampire, with a top speed over 400 miles per hour, and a powerful engine of the Havilland Goodwin 3 centrifugal turbojet that powers 3,350 pounds of grip. It's incredible to think that such a powerful aircraft can also fly so silently in stealth mode and fail so gracefully. The Vampire is a mighty aircraft on 3 arms with 4 20mm Fire Mark 5 cannons, 8 AH-60-pound rockets, or 2 500-pound bombs, or 2 drop tanks. Centre of the crowd as the Vampire creeps up on us, pulling up to the vertical, showing us the underbelly of the aircraft in that large frame. It can fly so gracefully above us here on Clacton Airshow, swirling as he reaches the top of the plane.
Instead we've had a lot of film stars with us today. This is another, this vampire, can be seen alongside John Travolta in the movie adaptation of the Frederick Forsyth novel The Shepherd. The film was made in 2023, filmed in Norfolk, and playing a starring role. You like the film, don't you?
I actually watched it last week in preparation for this show, and I have to say, Ian, I was astonished by it. A lot of these movies, they tend to use a very poor version of CGI, but this production used some really nice filming with the vampire, taxiing and some flying, and they combined that with virtual production in a studio with the pilots and cockpits, using the real footage behind them on big screens. And I have to say, you felt like you were up in the clouds with the pilots. And I actually have goosebumps. It was a fantastic version of vampire history on screen.
Hello everyone, it's Luke from AeroView. I do apologise for the technical issue at the end there, and where we lost a bit of the vampire display on the stream. So I am just going to put that back on now in just one moment. The show has finished, and we thankfully only lost a few minutes of the last display, so not too bad as far as technical issues go, but we do apologise. We do know what caused it, and that is now resolved. But yeah, can only apologise for that. But we're about to put on the full vampire display just from the beginning, in case anyone missed it, and we'll play that through to the end. And I will speak to you all once we have finished that display. Hello everyone, it's Luke again. Apologies. I just had a look, and we will have to upload the vampire display at a later point. But thankfully, as we say, we only lost about 2 minutes of the vampires routine. Can only apologise for that, of course. But I do hope everybody enjoyed today's air show. It was a fantastic lineup. Very condensed, actually. No breaks hardly at all. So yeah, it was quite intense. So I hope everyone enjoyed it. That is the flying display finished here at Clacton. But we do have another air show coming in just, well, a couple of days' time. We are off to Little Gransden for the Little Gransden air show next. That stream is a premium member exclusive stream, apologies, which you can find on our streaming service, which is at watch.aerobatics.tv. The link for that will be on the screen just now. So I do highly recommend, if you haven't already considered signing up to that, to sign up, as Little Grandstand has an absolutely fantastic lineup, including a very rare appearance from the A26 Invader, making its European display debut of this specific one. It's come over from America literally in the last couple of weeks. It was ferried across the Atlantic by, I believe, John Dodd, who was flying the in the Firebirds today. So yeah, it's going to be a fantastic display, and we're very much looking forward to capturing that for the first time, and I do hope that you can join us there. So membership is just £4.99 per month. You can cancel any time, and with that you also get access to all of our existing premium programs. Now, if you don't know what they are, effectively at the end of all of the free streams we also make a premium program which contains exclusive cockpit footage, interviews, and the whole Airshow's display, but kind of condensed into an hour to an hour and a half program, so you don't have to skim through 6 hours of live stream to see your favourite parts. So membership includes that and all upcoming ones as well. So we do have Eastbourne, Clacton, Little Grandstand, and there will also be one later once the shows happen from the Lee Victory Festival, which is in September, which will be streamed free on YouTube. So yeah, please do go ahead and check out watch.aeroreview.tv if you haven't already, and we hope to see you at Little Grandstand. So thank you so much for everyone who tuned into the streams this week. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you shortly.